been admitted. Let's hope she made a record for appeal. But one of the things she's complaining about is the social media and how that influenced the jury. Well, every jury is informed that they cannot consider newspapers or what people say or social media in determining what their verdict is going to be. I suspect that she'll appeal. I don't know if she has the money to appeal, but at the same time, if she doesn't have the money, any future wages she gets will be garnished. There's a judgment against her. It's a legitimate judgment. If there is an appeal, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't necessarily mean if she wins that there'll be a new trial. I think the evidence was overwhelming on the part of Johnny Depp, the plaintiff in this case. She was overwhelmingly seen as a liar and not a credible witness. And in the end, I think that, it's kind of interesting that she says, I don't have money, when she just bought a house.
Right.
She just insisted on living in 3 penthouses she and her girlfriends that Johnny Depp owns. She was a taker, and we'll see what happens.
Good.
But what she did, the one thing that she did was she hurt battered women. Mm-hmm. She hurt the women coming forward. And, she talks about how, that she felt the wrath of society. No, you created a wrath that wasn't there because you tried to ride on the wings of battered women.
Judge Pirro, who co-hosts Fox News show The Five, called out Amber Heard for hurting real battered women. The women coming forward as survivors or victims of abuse, and that Amber didn't feel the wrath of society on anything. She actually created that wrath upon herself when she tried to ride on the wings of battered women. Amber's attorney, Elaine, claims that the verdict was a setback for women who, unlike Amber, don't have enough evidence to prove they were domestically abused. But everyone is disagreeing with her.
Elaine, how is she today? What is her next move?
She's right. Well, her next move is appeal. There were
she's heartbroken.
She is heartbroken. And one of the first things that she said when she came back from the verdict, when we went into the conference room, was, I am so sorry to all these women.
She said that?
Yes. She felt like she had let down all of these women because she had more evidence than most people do, and yet they still didn't believe her.
Amber's actions were actually a setback to honest women who now have to go an extra mile to prove that they were victims, because now battered women will be viewed more thoroughly simply because if someone who was in the spotlight had the ability to lie even when she knew she would be found out. What about the rest of us normal civilians? She ruined the chances of women with no evidence to prove that they were victims. She also broke the trust of everyone who had seen her as a survivor and had hoped that, just like Amber, they would be able to escape the clutches of their abuser and get help. They realized that they had trusted the abuser while the real victim was suffering in silence like them. The verdict was actually an eye-opener that men, just like women, are also getting abused, but due to the prejudice held in our society, they choose to silently suffer because they believe no one would believe them if they spoke out. After 6 years of living in pain and misery, the jury and the world finally gave Johnny back his life by making a verdict in support of him.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes.
Johnny had sued his ex-wife Amber for defamation when she wrote an op-ed in 2018, claiming that when she came out as a survivor of domestic abuse, she felt the wrath of the society against her because of Johnny's power in the entertainment industry. She had decided that she wanted the op-ed to be released after her then movie Aquaman, to help with the popularity of the movie. So this woman destroyed a man's life solely because she wanted fame.
Ms. Heard said in words or substance that she wanted the op-ed to come out soon after Aquaman, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Who did she relate that to?
I don't recall, although I believe that there's documents that we produced that can shed some light on that.
The op-ed, regardless of the fact that it didn't mention Johnny's name, had a huge negative impact on him as he suffered and lost his works. He got fired from Disney and the world turned against him. He then decided that since he had lost nearly everything, he had nothing to lose, and so he sued Amber for defaming him in the op-ed. It was quite obvious that initially, even after paying Amber $7 million during their divorce, he was never interested in suing her. His messy divorce might have contributed in his failings at that time, but he seemed to have had a little hope that despite the accusations, he might still be able to stay on his feet. The op-ed swept under him and he fell. And at this point, he decided he was going to tell the world the truth. He at first sued the Sun for labeling him a wife-beater, but lost in the UK court because the Sun was able to prove that they didn't make the post out of malice but out of Amber's story. Johnny then took the case to Virginia, where regardless of Amber appealing against it, Virginia decided to take his case. During the 6-week defamation trial, those who had come in as Amber's supporters quickly switched sides to Johnny when they realized Amber was lying and that she was actually the abuser and Johnny was the victim. It was quite easy to notice that no one except her sister had come to testify in support of her.
You may have noticed that no one showed up for Ms. Heard in this courtroom other than her sister. Every other witness who traveled to Virginia for her was a paid expert. This is a woman who burns bridges.
All her close friends deserted her, and the only testimony she had from them was testimony recorded years ago. Johnny had a multitude of witnesses from his bodyguards, his agents, his friends, people who just came to tell the truth, and even his sister. This showed that Johnny had people supporting him, people who felt that he had the right to live a peaceful life regardless of how Amber treated him. We found out that not only had Amber leaked videos of Johnny like the one where he was banging cabinets to the press.
What happened?
Specifically TMZ. She had also leaked information of where and when she would be going for deposition cases against her husband. She also leaked information that she would be at a particular courthouse on a particular day getting a restraining order against her ex-husband, and the paparazzi were asked to take pictures of a bruise on her right cheek.
And what footage was TMZ trying to capture at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
We were trying to capture Amber leaving the courthouse and an alleged bruise on the right side of her face.
All of this proved that Amber had decided to destroy Johnny for a very long time. If Johnny had not spoken up, we would never have realized he was the one who had been suffering this entire time, but now we've heard her threatening him that no one would believe him if he came out as a man who was domestically abused. And we know that she was the bad person in that relationship.
Please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge thinks. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and yes. It's a fair fight. And see how many people.
Whether or not she decides to appeal, if she even has the money, that is, no one is going to believe her anymore. We've seen her fake cry in court. We've heard her make up stories in court. We've seen her present to us fake evidence. We saw her in her lying and storytelling element. So no one will ever believe someone who used such a serious and grave matter as domestic abuse and violence just for popularity. Anyways, that's it for this video. Tune into Film Streak as we update you on everything Hollywood. Thanks for watching.